to get into the defense offense, I know that Neil and I are on two different sides of the coin here. I think the defense looks good. The offense is struggling. And I don't think you think the defense looks bad, but you don't think the offense is struggling, Neil?
Oh, no. You go first. Please go first.
I just, anytime in joint practice and when they're playing, with the Guardian Caps at regular practice, when they were playing the game, I mean, it took 20 plays to get down the field. Yes, they got all the way down the field. I agree. But 20 plays, if they have to do that every series, they're going to be exhausted. Again, I know it's preseason, but as Dan Campbell says, preseason counts. So the defense looks sharp. They're strong. They had a couple of blown coverage, but you have that in the defense, even when you got the amazing backfield that other teams have. So that's where I'm at. I just don't think the offense is really standing out to me like the defense is.
Do you think a 20-play drive is a bad thing?
I think
a 20-play scoring drive is a bad thing.
If you do it, I don't care how many times a game, if you do it, what was the final score? 28-27, 27-26. If it's 42-41, it's going to be bad for the offense to be out there that much. Yes, it's going to be horrible for them to be out there 20 plays every 15, 20 minutes, especially if they're scoring on us.
That's not going to happen.
Okay.
I was going to say we'll respectfully disagree with you, but there's not going to be any respect that comes with this. The Lions aren't a playoff team, at least not yet. Everything crossed, but they're not a playoff team. And the only way that the defense is going to be able to keep up, because I mean, I'm not overly excited about the secondary right now. I think that they're a liability. The more that you can keep those guys off the field, the defense off the field, so that they are fresh when they come in, so they can fly around and get to who they got to get to and make the plays and stuff. If you're going against, I hate to say the P word, but if you're going against a team from Wisconsin, and it's third, fourth quarter, they're going to dink and dunk that ball, especially if it's a close game. Dink and dunk that ball all the way down the field. They're going to pick the defense apart. They're going to draw it out as long as they possibly can. We're not good enough to win those games. The Lions are not good enough to win those games yet. Being able to sustain, that was actually one of the things that I really liked about this preseason game was this was one of the first times in a long time that I can remember having that many 10+ play drives in a game. And that's a good thing, because that means that like you're winning the game in the trenches and you're imposing your will on the other team. You're pushing them around, you're fighting for everything, and you're winning. More importantly, is a lot of those times when you have those games, statistically, when you have games where you have a lot of series where they're nice long series, ball control is a huge factor in winning games, unless you're playing the Chiefs and you're one play away from breaking a 90-yarder like at any given point in time. If you have the ball 40 minutes out of 60 minutes, you're most likely going to win the game. So I don't see a bad thing about that at all. I think that there's good depth at receiver. I think that the weakest point on offense right now is the tight end group. Behind Hawkinson is a couple big question marks, but the offensive line was looking solid. Like, I mean, they played really well on both sides of the ball in that game.
The offensive line was looking solid. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At least the backup. Yeah, the backup team was. I mean, they were bulldozing. There's going to be some good linemen that get cut from this team. There's going to be some good interior offensive linemen that get cut from this team, and there's going to be one or two good receivers that get cut from this team. I think that Kennedy is making it very difficult for the Lions right now and what they're going to do and who they're going to stick with and how they're going to shake this whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go into the season with scrap the. Oh, I'm not going to say it yet, but I would not be surprised to see them make a weird decision and say that Kabinda, I'm sorry, you're not one of the top 53. We hope to get you back at some point. For as little as they use fullbacks, and how many other options that they have when you're playing those long drives. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but when you're playing those games and you're having those long drives, your receivers are running their asses off out there. And if you have the depth, if you decide to keep a seventh receiver, and you have guys that are performing against backups as well as Kennedy's doing, you still got Cephas in the mix. You gotta bring Williams on board at some point. They're surprisingly pretty well stocked at receiver right now. If you really truly are saying, hey, we want to keep the best 53 football players on this team, then you say, hey, guess what? Rodrigo, go play fullback for a game. Go hit somebody. Break a face mask. That wouldn't be that crazy to think about throwing a linebacker in a situation like that. That's what Cabinda did, right? He transitioned from that to fullback. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them, because there's a handful of good guys making cases at running back too. I think the offense is playing a lot better than you're giving them credit for.
Okay,
is what I was trying to say.
Detroit Rick, what do you think? Offense or defense? Is everybody looking good? Everybody looking bad? What do you think?
Well, I think our defense is looking good. Our offense is a running back situation. No touchdown, any receivers, but our running back situation is nice. And Reynolds had a great preseason game. Hopefully, he can keep that.
Godwin's back because he got hurt last year right after that big touchdown, right? Didn't he?
Right.
So
it's really hard to judge anything on these preseason games because we're trying to see who's going to make the team. I think used to be game 4. Game 4 was the game where everybody wanted to watch because game 4 you're going to have your starters the first quarter. But now with 3 games, you still got to test some of these young players. So I'm kind of anxious to see how this is going to play out.
Is there not a 4th game next week?
There's only 3 games in preseason now.
Third game.
Because they got 7.
Oh,
yeah, it's game 2. So there's only one game left. There's only one game left because now they got 17 games. So.
Right. Okay.
So state your case for the defense. I want to hear it. Why do you think the defense is playing so much better than the offense is?
I don't think they're playing better. I'm just not worried about I don't know. I always try to give the defense. I'm a defense guy. So, I mean, Hutchie looks good.
Yeah, he does.
The linebackers haven't seen much yet. Like you talked about the safeties and the corners. Who knows? They didn't play that well the last couple of weeks, but is what it is. I just think you were talking about it. And you kind of proved my point. You said if the offense is running around and they're going crazy for this long and this long, they're going to need a deeper bench or whatever for it. It's like, okay, again, if you're playing 20 snaps every 20 minutes or every 20 minutes of play time, those guys are going to be exhausted by the end of the game. I don't care how deep you are on offense, but the defense is made to play, and they're made to play. They're made to play strong and long. The offense is not. So
I don't think the defense is any more well conditioned than the offense is.
I think they are, absolutely.
Let's wait after game 3.
There's only one way to find out.